Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit Podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Purl.
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Wednesday, the 11th of April, 2018, and this is episode 289. We'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys. To all our returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. There is a pink elephant in the room that we'll get to in Yummies. Did I say welcome? Did I welcome both sets of people?
Maybe.
And a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. Hope you enjoy the show. If I double welcomed you, well, good. Dammy, we had somebody introduce themselves in the Ravelry group this week. Why don't you give them a shout out?
Sarah, who is Sarah in Houston from Texas.
Welcome, Sarah. Thanks for introducing yourself. Dammy, if somebody's not a member of our Ravelry group, what should they do and why?
You should join and introduce yourself in our introductions thread because you'll get a shout out on our next episode and be able to participate in all our owls and giveaways.
That's right. Well, we have quite a bit to talk to you about today. Actually, we have more than one pink elephant in the room. We have 5.
Oh.
So, let's get talking about the knitting so we can get to Yummies.
And now we're going to talk about what is on our needles.
What's on your needles, Dammy?
What is still on my needles is the Tickled Pink wrap, which is from our new Tickled Pink book. It's on US 3, it's 2.25 millimeters. They are in a Seven Sisters Arts, and I'm in the black hole of knitting.
It has gotten so long, though.
Nope, I just want it to end. I don't want to knit it anymore.
It is a rather large piece. So, how many rows do you have left in this repeat?
6.
And then do you think you'll have enough for another full repeat?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, you can do it. But then, we're going to show it off next week in the podcast, so you'll be able to cast on socks.
Yes, I have to finish it.
Yes, you can do it.
Okay.
We have faith in you. You can do it.
What are you working on?
Well, as Norm, it appears for right now, I'm working on a couple of things. First up is my zigzag blanket. This is the 10-stitch zigzag pattern by Frankie Brown. I'm on US 4's 3.5 mil needles, and I finished the 44th stripe, which means I'm 55% done with the blanket, and that was in Pandia's Jewel Snug in the Hot Cocoa with Pink Marshmallows colorway. And then I started the 45th stripe using the yarn from my Ravelinix socks, and it is Misty Alpaca in the Birds in Paradise or of Paradise? One of them colorway. It's on my project page on Ravelry if you want to see. So, yeah, so I got 8 zigzags done this week because when I finish a stripe, I also start the next stripe the same day. So normally I only get 7 done in a week, but when I am changing colors, I do 2 that day. So, and then the other thing that I'm working on is what I'm knitting on right now. These are the Hubs 2018 birthday socks. This is from my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern. I'm on US 1.5's 2.5 mil needles, and the yarn is Patton's Croy sock in the gray brown marl colorway, which is not what I would call it.
So interesting.
So it's got the paler gray, brown, red, and darker gray wide stripes separated by a couple of colors of smaller stripe in between. So this is the first sock, and I finished the heel yesterday, and I have just done, I'm on the 4th row of the leg. So I'm making progress on those. I like how it's knitting up, though. It's very pretty, and the Hubs likes it, too. So I probably won't make them matchy-matchy. Just do whatever comes out of the ball next. So, yep. And that's everything that's on my needles, which means I have a couple of things that I finished. So let's move on to the next segment.
Now we're going to talk about her finished projects.
Dammy has a throat lozenge in her mouth because we have had an attack of the cold this week. Immune systems. You know, when your stress level is really high, it makes your immune system not. And you're very susceptible. So, and then plus there is a lot of pollen in the air that we're getting used to. So, colds and allergies combined. Gotta love them. I finished 2 projects this week. First up is the first pair of socks that I knit for our friend Mel, who took the photos for our new book. This is from my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern, and it's on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles, and it's Patton's Croix sock in the cadet colorway. So it's really like kind of that dark, but you can see a little bit of the color change. So this was the second sock, and you can see that that it repeats. Wait. This one. This is the second sock because it repeats that and that and that and that again, because this comes in 50-gram skeins. So I just started when I was ready for a new skein of yarn. So I'll give those to Mel, and then I've got a couple more pairs that I'll be knitting for her. And then my other thing is this Sweeks preemie hat. This is number 14 for the year. It's from my free top-down preemie hat pattern on Ravelry. I did it on US 6 4-mil needles, and I used the leftover yarn from Mel's socks, the Patton's Croix in the cadet colorway, and held it doubled with Knit Picks palette in the Oyster Heather colorway. And there you go. I like the pom-pom. It's very squishy. And that's everything I finished this week. I don't have a lot of knitting talk this week, but we do have some things to share with you. So let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. What are yummies, Dammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. And, hello, baby. Can you say hello to the people? This is Pink Purl Almon. Purl like knitting, P-U-R-L. Hi, baby. She loves chin scratches. Yes, she does. Oh, did that feel good? Did that feel good? So she's a little over 2 years old, and we got her on Friday. And she was named Pink at the Humane Society. So it was kind of meant to be. So she had been at the Humane Society for about 6 weeks. And part of the thing is they were saying that she was overstimulated, but it was when she was with a lot of young children. So they wouldn't let a family with kids under 16 adopt her. And then she was still there, and so we got her.
Bye.
And she's going to go sit and look out the window. What would you like to say about Pink, Dammy?
She's so sweet, and I love her.
I do, too. I told Dammy now she's going to have to FaceTime me every day while she's at college so that she can see Pink every day.
She hasn't bitten or scratched any of us. Well, she like playfully bit my finger once when I was giving her treats. Like, do you have more treats for me?
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. The naughtiest thing she has done is move her water bowl around so much that all the water sloshes out of it and gets all over the floor and on some of her food, so it makes soggy kitty food.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's doing good at not scratching furniture. And she loves to sleep in bed with us, especially on the hub's feet. Which is very funny. And
would you like to go under our beds?
Yes. And she loves to sit on knitting projects.
And knitting bags.
And paper and computers. And she loves to play with her feather toy.
She crushed some of my school paperwork yesterday.
Yeah, she really loves her feather toy. And she loves looking out the window or the patio door. And she's adorable, and we love her. So we call her either Pink or Baby.
Or Pinky.
Or Pinky, because she's the cutest baby kitty in the whole world. And she has a hashtag on social media. Hashtag Pink Purl Almon. So if you want to follow that to see pictures of her. My Instagram has kind of been taken over by Pink. So we're so excited. Are you excited? Yeah. Dammy and I went and looked at her on Thursday afternoon after she got off of work. And then we promised the hubs we would come home and talk to him before we made a final decision. And then Dammy had to work Friday, and the hubs was sleeping from working overnight. So I went to the shelter and picked her up, and she was home with me. I mean, the hubs was home too, but he was closed in the bedroom sleeping. So she was home with me, and Dammy was very anxious to get off work and get home to her baby. Pink, do you want to be on the podcast again?
No, there are birds.
Maybe later. Stay tuned for after the credits. We'll put in some video or such that we've taken because my phone has been overtaken by photos and videos of Pink the cat. We love Pink. Okay, so we got another Knit Crate shipment. So Knit Crate does subscription boxes monthly, and they are sending this to us for review. So this box is inspired by Golden Hour, the precious moments right before the sun sets when it's low in the west and it casts ochre tones across the world. This time is called the Golden Hour. And the yarn is, was that Audine? A-U-D-I-N-E?
Sure.
Audine wools. It is a 100% superwash merino, DK weight, 100 grams, 236 yards in the Red Rock colorway. That's a little truer. It's just, that's like totally blowing it out. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous red. And it came with the knitting pattern. This is a shawl called Chloris by Emily Johans. And the crochet pattern is the Tempest Cow by Abby Swanson. This is really nice and squishy. The Hubs loves the colors, but he doesn't at this moment need me to knit anything for him because I can't, well, I guess I could knit socks out of this, but I don't think he would enjoy them as much as fingering weight socks. And he has hats that I've knit him, and he doesn't need anything else right now. So, but red is his favorite color. So you might find this in an upcoming along as a prize. So, and Knit Crate has given us the coupon code, all capital letters, Geeky20, Geeky20, to get 20% off your first order. It will work to discount the first month of a recurring monthly subscription or any of the shop items. And the link is in the show notes to get to that. So thank you, Knit Crate, for sending this. It's beautiful. Beautiful. It's really rich tones. What do you think of it?
Squishy.
It is very squishy. So, okay, so there's that. So as you may have seen, we are wearing some of the new patterns from the Tickle Pink book. So we're going to talk about the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th patterns, because we should have started this a week earlier so we could do 2 every week, but we messed up. So, and yeah, so let's talk about these. So do you want to start with this?
Oh, sure. So these are these Suburban Stitcher yarns. The colorway was called Bashful, and I thought something very dainty and nice. So it's little lace diamonds on the sock, and it's
beautiful.
So pretty.
And it's toe up and cuff down.
Yep. You bet it is.
I love the speckles. Diane is just a color genius.
Speckles.
I was so excited when she agreed to work with us on this. And obviously, I'm wearing the other item out of Diane's colorway. So this is the Bashful and the Cinder colorway. And this is a...
oh, you're taking it off.
I am. It's a 200 gram of yarn shawl.
It's enormous.
It is enormous. It's very shallow. And it's called, did I say it's called the Bashful Stripes shawl?
No.
And it is, it's a garter stitch asymmetrical stripe. And so it makes made for easy knitting, but it shows off those speckles. Just, oh my gosh, I'm just so in love with these speckles. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So this is the Bashful Stripes shawl. And then the 5th and 6th patterns in the book are from Abstract Fiber Yarn in the Thistles in Bloom colorway. And
no, the colorway is just Thistle.
Sorry, the colorway is Thistles. The sock pattern is called Thistles in Bloom. And it is also a toe-up and cuff-down pattern, and it alternates panels of lace of the Thistles in Bloom with garter stitch for the green grassy fields that the thistles are found in.
And green grass grew all around.
The green grass grew all around. And I just love how it turned out. It's beautiful. So yeah, so that's the thistles in bloom. Yeah. And then what did you design with abstract fiber?
This that I don't want to take off.
But we want them to be able to see.
See, this is the Alba cowl, because Alba is the Scottish Gaelic word for Scotland and thistle, Scotland, and I paired it with a Malabrigo yarn to make this nice garter and slip stitch pattern.
It's beautiful. And you could make it taller if you wanted. If you wanted it to,
you can make it wider.
You could make it long.
I put instructions for that.
You can make it longer so that you can wrap it more than once. You could make it into a scarf if you
so desire. There are instructions for it.
There's instructions for all of it in the pattern. So I love how it turned out. It's so squishy. I know the pattern gave you quite a few fits, but you got through it and it worked. So yeah. So Bashful.
Diamonds in the Mine.
Diamonds in the Mine socks. Bashful Stripes shawl. Thistles in Bloom. Alba cowl. All right, so that is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th patterns in the book, and we will give you a sneak peek next week of the final 2 patterns in the book. So pre-orders have ended for the ones that came with the extra goodies and optional notions pouch, but we have ordered extra of the physical book. So if you are interested in the physical book, which also comes with the ebook Ravelry download code, you can go to
pink.javapurldesigns.com
and order it there. It's $20.50 plus shipping. Or if you want the ebook only, the link is there as well on that site, and it's $18.75 plus VAT or taxes as your location demands. And pre-orders will ship no later than Thursday, the 26th of April, and the book releases that day as well. I'm not sure what she's doing. The collar I got has a bell on it, and then she's also got a pink heart tag that says pink with my phone number on the back, as well as a round silver metal tag that has her license, and so they all jingle together. So sometimes when she's like hiding somewhere, we listen for the jingle to see where she's at. Yes, the book releases Thursday, the 26th of April. If we have all the stuff for the pre-orders ready earlier than that, we will go ahead and ship those out. So yeah, so we're excited to share this awesome new book with you. If you're a new viewer, I realize we didn't give you a synopsis of what we've done. So the book is called Tickled Pink. The subtitle is 2 designers, that's Dammy and I, 4 indie dyers, and 8 pinktastic patterns. And so we had 4 indie dyers each dye a pink colorway of yarn, and then you and I each designed a pattern out of it. Each of the colorways has a sock pattern, and then it has an accessories pattern, hats that we showed last week, cowl, shawl, and wrap. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Pink is right here in front of me, settling down for a nap. Because you know what? Cats nap a lot. Okay, anything else? I mean, this has been a very exciting, yummy segment. Because, hello, we got a cat. Hi, baby. Hi, we're talking about you.
Meow.
Yes, we are. Oh, do you hear the birdie? Do you hear the birdies? The birdies are not appealing to her at the moment. Did I already ask you if that was everything? Yep. Okay, so let's talk about brain fog with a cold. Yeah. Let's talk about hashtag Geeky Crafty Pad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month, so you take a look at the prompt for that day, take your picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like. But we pick our favorites from Instagram.
That's right. And this month, April, is numbers theme. So you can interpret that however you wish. My interpretation has been Today is the 11th, and this is what happened today. But you can also do like 11 stitches, 11 rows, 11 inches, 11 ridges, 11 toes. I don't know, 11 fingers. 11 of something. So you interpret it however you want to. So what are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. So those were our favorite photos. Great job, everybody. It's never too late to join in. Just take a look at the prompt for the day. Obviously, we're just talking about that 11 is however you want to enter the number this month. We're very cheater friendly. Interpret it however you would like to interpret it. So you take a picture related to the prompt. You post it on Instagram. Make sure you use the hashtag #GGKCraftyPad because that's how we find your photo and it might get chosen. If you have a private Instagram account, you need to make sure Dammy's Doodles is following you because we can't see your photos otherwise. So, yeah. So it's never too late to join in. Join in when you can, when you want to, and we're happy to have you. All right. I still have not worked out the details with the yarn crawl.
You do that.
I know, but I've been sick. So, hopefully I'll have those details for you by next week. So, let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
What are you reading, Dammy?
I am still reading / listening to The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. And I think if I found the right place in the book to like judge from what I listened to in the audiobook, I'm like 3/4 of the way.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Awesome. And you're listening to it via...
LibriVox.
Yes. Which is a free public domain audio.
LibriVox is in the public domain.
Yeah, audiobook download thing.
For more information or to volunteer, please. They say that in every recording. They have the little script. Like, this is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, go to blah, 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 blah.
This episode was not sponsored by LibriVox. And then you're reading the other thing too?
Yes, I'm still reading The Glass Scientist, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Katungo.
Okay. And you like it?
Yep.
Good. So have you been getting your 15 minutes in a day?
A day in?
Yes. 15 minutes in a day. So we're in our living room. And just this direction over here, we have a sliding glass door on our patio, and it's got the
tall blinds.
The tall blinds, the slats, and we open them for Pink so she can look out. But now she is like smelling, and she's like into the blinds, and they're like click clacking on each other. What you looking for, baby? Investigate. Let us know when you figure it out. So what I'm referencing is the April, May, June read-along. And this is a challenge for you to read at least 15 minutes a day. I don't care what you read as long as you're reading. My preference would be for you to read, physical books, ebooks, audiobooks, blogs, newspapers, magazines. But if you're reading, it counts. And we have 2 categories. So if you read 15 minutes a day, at least 88 days of the 91 days in the 3 months, you'll be entered into giveaways for one of our ebooks, and you'll also get a coupon code and virtual badge. And then the second category is 61 plus days, and you'll be entered into giveaways for single patterns and get a virtual badge as well. So if you participated in the January, February, March, there's still some prizes that have not been claimed. So go back and watch last week's episode to see if you were a winner. Because you have 30 days to claim your prize, or you forfeit it. And the way that you participate is there's a finish line thread in the group. You post once, and then you go in and edit that post. And you don't have to go in every day and edit it. If you want to like keep track for like a week or a month and then go in and put it in, that's totally fine. A lot of people are putting in what they're reading, but that's not required at all. You just need to tell us that you've read 15 or more. What are you doing?
I wonder if there's something behind it.
I don't know. She's trying to get behind the trash can in the kitchen. Let me tell you, in case you don't know, they can sniff stuff out. They find stuff that you're like, what the crap? I didn't know that piece of fuzz was there. You just have to notate that you're reading 15 or more minutes every day. That's the minimum requirement.
Stop looking at her sniff stuff.
I'm trying to think. I keep forgetting what I need to say. And so there's only 2 categories. So it'll be either 88. You'll either be in the 8. Well, I guess as long as you read 61 days, you'll be in the 61 plus category, unless you get up to 88 days, and then you'll be in the 88 plus category. So we're not going to do separate categories for 61, 62, 63, 64. It's 2 categories, 61 plus or 88 plus. Does that make sense? And if you want to talk about what you're reading on social media, use the hashtag GGKROW18. Okay.
So what are you reading?
I read a lot of stuff this week, you guys, because I was sick. And that means I laid in bed and read a lot while I was knitting. So I'm still reading Only Love Today by Rachel Macy Stafford. I'm also still rereading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's / Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling. And I'm doing that along with the Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast. So this is going to be an ongoing thing, because what I'm doing is I'm reading the chapter each week, and then when the hubs and I go out for our weekly date before knit night, we listen to the podcast episode in the car. So doing that. Okay, so some of these that I read were Kindle Unlimited, and some of them were from the library. So I read Choppy Seas, which is the Rowan Gray Mystery Series, book number 5 by Lily Harper Hart. And that's kind of, well, that was not technically paranormal. She has the ability to, she's a photographer, and she has the ability to see a warning on a photo if someone's going to die, and then tries to stop it from happening. And then Wicked Ghosts which is a Harper Harlow and Ivy Morgan mystery by Lily Harper Hart. And so Harper Harlow is one book series she has. Ivy Morgan is another book series she has, and she did a crossover episode of the book. A crossover book. And so that was fun. So that's paranormal, obviously, with the name Ghosts. And then I read Grim Tempest, which is Aisling Grimlock series.
Ailing.
Okay. What did I say?
Aisling.
Ailing, sorry. Brain. Ailing Grimlock, book number 8 by Amanda M. Lee. And that one is a series about they're Grim Reapers. They collect the souls.
They're Grim.
And then from the library, from Interlibrary Loan, I read Magic Gifts, which is a Kate Daniels 5.4 by Ilana Andrews. So it was a novella in the Kate Daniels world. And then Gunmetal Magic, which is in the Kate Daniels world, but is not a Kate Daniels series, so it's 5.5 in the series, by Alana Andrews. Really enjoyed those. Hell's Bells trilogy by Allison Clare. I read books 1 and 2. They are Kindle Unlimited. Oh my gosh, they are so good. So good. About a girl finding out that she has an ability and this journey. It's I don't want to spoil any of it because it like totally was like time after time was like, oh my gosh, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming. So I'm really excited for the third book to come out. And then I read Outclassed, Spellslinger's Academy of Magic, and that's the Wardens of the West book number 2 by Annabelle Chase. I talked about the first book last week. Loving this series too. Kindle Unlimited. Those are if you're looking for something new to read, and you like the kind of books that I read, I would recommend those 2 series. And then from the library, I got The Songbird Sisters, which is book number 3 in the Songbirds of Darling Bay series by Rachel Herron. And I had insomnia last night, and so I read the whole book, as one does. And then I started reading Two Nights by Kathy Reichs, and this is the lady who wrote the Bones series. It's called the Temperance Brennan series, I think, but that the TV show Bones is based on, and this is a standalone book that I'm reading. So, when I'm stressed and sick, I read even more than normal. And then watching, I'll start. So, well, I guess, so I'm going to kind of tie these two together. So I finished watching season 6 of Charmed, and I'm watching season 7. But there was an episode that had some scenes reminiscent of the movie Entrapment from 1999 with Sean Connery and Catherine Zeta-Jones. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a good movie. I want to rewatch it. So I did. I rewatched Entrapment. Loved it. I love Sean Connery. We have a little half wall behind the love seat over this way. And Pink likes to stand on it and look over her kingdom. Because she's the boss kitty. So I watched that. I watched a Hallmark movie called Once...
No.
No.
Get off the table.
No. Off the table.
Thank you.
Good girl. She's not allowed on tables. Or desks. Or dressers. Or cabinets. In the kitchen. No. Counters. Watched Once Upon a Prince, which was a Hallmark movie. Do you want to talk about the next one?
Sure. We watched Thor Ragnarok. I think it was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. They were trying to comedy it up like Guardians of the Galaxy, it felt like. But there were some really good points in it, and it was good. It was we're still all feeling sick, and so we watched movies day yesterday. Which means we also watched The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman in it. I had previously listened to the soundtrack, and I think the soundtrack is amazing. I enjoyed the movie. What did you think of the movie?
It was pretty okay.
I don't think I liked it as much as, say, like La La Land. So, I mean, I know a lot of... I liked it. I enjoyed watching it. I thought it was very well done. Loved the music. It just wasn't like, oh, this one's knocked out of the park, like I think some people think. But that's okay, because we all have different opinions, and that's why there's so many different movies and TV shows and books and podcasts for each of us to find what we like. Okay. Do you want to talk about the next thing?
We are watching Series 2 of a series of unfortunate events because it came out. So we're watching it.
Yes. So we've watched the first two-parters.
Mm-hmm. The Austere Academy and the Airsat Elevator.
Yes.
I don't remember what one comes next.
I don't either. So there's 3 more two-parters in this season. And then is there like one more season? Is that what they're saying?
I think so. Because that would be all 13 books.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, that would make sense. Okay, so we're watching season 15 of NCIS. And there was like sad results of immigration situations, that was kind of tough to watch. We're watching, the husband and I are watching NCIS New Orleans season 4. Percy left NCIS to work for the FBI, and I cried. I didn't think she was going to leave, but she did. So, okay, why don't you talk about the next couple?
Okay, we're watching season 5 of The Black...
Scratches.
Okay, we're watching the season 5 of The Blacklist. This episode was about child brides, and Raymond plans to blackmail Garvey since he has his ledger now.
Yep.
We're watching season 13 of Criminal Minds. So, Matt's wife's work, her name's Christy, was taken hostage, but they rescued her.
Yes, but she was a big part in helping you get rescued. Hi, baby. Do you want to come be on the podcast? Pink. You want to come up? She's smelling the tripod. She's like, this has not been here before. Do you want to come up here, baby?
Oh!
There you go. Come here. Say hi. There we go. Say hi. The hubs and I are watching The Big Bang Theory season 11, and Sheldon apparently was the entire tenants association, so he kept making these rules that only made him happy instead of like taking the whole apartment complex into consideration. And I'm watching season 13 of...
Ow!
Ow! It's okay.
Ow!
There you go. Ouch. What are you going to do? You're going to go down? Okay.
She did it without knocking the tripod over.
That's good. You are a smart podcast kitty. I'm watching season 13 of Supernatural. There was a crazy tentacle monster coming down. Oh, it was scary. And they got the last 2 things they needed to open the rift to save their mom and Jack. And Dean and Catch went through, and Sam
Catch?
Catch. What's his name?
Who's Catch?
He's from the British Men of Letter.
Casts.
No, Catch. Oh. Sam is staying to take care of Gabriel after Catch rescued him from Asmodeus. You can tell we're getting close to season end because they're trying to wrap up all the things. And then I'm watching season 6 of Arrow, and John and Oliver got in a massive fight, and John left Team Arrow. All right, your turn.
You wrote the notes for this, though. Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5. You wrote, is anyone else thoroughly confused as to what is going on?
Are you?
I'm like...
So you were saying, though, that you thought they were trying to...
set up for the space part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe with more Guardians of the Galaxy, Infinity War, starting off the space part, Inhumans, Captain Marvel.
When is Infinity War?
May. So next month.
Next month. So that's probably what they're trying to set up for, definitely. Yeah. I'm watching season 5 of One Calls the Heart. Carson saved his sister-in-law, who had the same type of brain tumor that her sister had. So Carson is a doctor, and he was married. The lady he was married to had this brain tumor, and he tried to operate on her, and she didn't survive. And then it was hereditary, and her sister got the same kind of brain tumor. And so she came to Carson begging for help because she was like, they were giving her weeks to live. And at first he said no, but then he did it, and he was able to save her, which was cool. And then in NCIS season 9, Anna killed Sarkalov, but he didn't have a gun. And so is Callan gonna cover for her, or is she gonna end up getting in a lot of trouble for killing an unarmed man? Yeah. Even though he's a very, very evil man, an unarmed man, nonetheless.
That's murder.
And then I don't think I've listened to the musicals playlist this week. I've listened to the car playlist.
Cars!
I need to change that to say I've been listening to the This Is Hamilton playlist that Spotify put together. And it's got like the Hamilton mixtape, the Hamilton soundtrack. It's got Found Tonight, the crossover that Lynn did with, his last name's Platt, isn't it? What's his first name? Ben Platt. Yeah, so I've been listening to that, and I've also been listening to the Sarah Bareilles playlist that Dammy made for me because I fell back in love with Sarah Bareilles. I mean, I hadn't fallen out of love with her, but I just, you know what I mean? What about you? What have you been listening to?
I listened to a bit of the Sarah Bareilles playlist too. and cabin pressure.
What ones did you listen to this week that you can think of?
I don't remember.
You can't remember one of them?
No, I just hit shuffle and let it play.
Okay.
I've got them all memorized, so it's just like playing.
Does Pink like cabin pressure is the question.
I haven't listened to it without headphones.
Oh. Would she be allowed on Gertie, the plane?
Yes.
But in a carrier?
Yes, and that we wouldn't put her in an unheated hold.
No. And she would not be on there with the otters.
No.
The otters of
St. Mary.
St. Mary.
Ottery St. Mary.
Ottery St. Mary. The otters of Ottery St. Mary. I think we're digressing. Why don't we go ahead and move on to the next segment?
And now we're going to talk about our March, April, May She-Be Spring Owl.
That's right. It started on the 1st of March and it runs through the 31st of May. It's for any project you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us is related to spring. What's the fallback on that?
You made it in the spring.
That's right. So, no whips are allowed. You have to start your project the 1st of March or later and finish it by the 31st of May. The new rule for this owl is, in the FO thread, you post each finished project is a single post, and each of those single posts counts for one entry into the giveaway, unless your project takes less than 20 yards, 18.3 meters of yarn. If that's the case, you need to group it with other projects that add up to at least a total of 20 yards, 18.3 meters of yarn. So, say I was making bookmarks and it took 10 yards of yarn, I would need to make another bookmark or a coaster or whatever that took 10 yards of yarn so that cumulatively those equal 20 yards of yarn. And then post that, and that post is one entry to the giveaway. Make sense? Good. Feel free to poly dip in other owls as long as it fits in with the other rules. We have lots of lovely prizes on the screen right now, including a new prize. Dammy, do you want to tell us about the new prize?
Sure. This is the Linen Butterflies cardigan pattern from and designed by Monique, who is Windswept Monique.
Thank you, Monique.
No
scratching. No scratching there. You go to your scratching post. If you want to know more about the prizes, you can go to our show notes.
GeekyGirlsKnit.com,
where there are larger photos and links to the items, or tune in for the first podcast of every month where we talk about the prices in detail. You have to be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry to participate. The social media hashtag is #GGKSpring18. We'll lock the FO thread the morning of the 1st of June and draw podcast winners on the next podcast after that. You'll have 30 days to claim your prize if you are a winner. And we have a chatter thread in the Ravelry group where you can talk about what you're working on. Dammy also gives a shout out there to everybody who finishes projects, as well as here on the podcast. So Dammy, why don't you shout out?
Okay. Allie B Creations, Angie's Hip, Crafts Untold, Crafty Textile Lady, Dragon Rose, Falling Star 12, Inagata Danita, JP Music 15, K2P2 Mama, Kersey S, Knit and Read, Knit Central, Knit Live Love, Little Angel SG2, Mamma Mia 64, Nana PEI, Panushka, Pukaz Lagrada, Rogue Robot, She's Knitting Socks, Shirley Knits 123, and Yellcat 2.
Great job, everybody. So keep you working on those projects. You have a little over a month and a half to get them done. Let's move on to the next segment.
When I was And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we answer them.
Or try to, at least.
Let's try to, but we know the answer to this question.
Yes, so what is the question this week, Dammy?
This week's question is from Rhonda, who is dueling needles from Pennsylvania. Have either of you ladies ever tried working cables without a cable needle? I'm intrigued by the idea, but have yet to try it. I've done it before a while ago. I found it a little difficult because I was doing it on socks on small needles. So, I could do it, but I just went back to using a regular cable needle.
I also have done it, and I learned the technique from the Grump Arena tutorial, which I'm linking in the show notes.
How old is this blog post?
It's like several years old. It might even be pre-Ravelry.
Oh my god.
I tend to find it works best when I'm doing like probably 2, 3, or 4 stitch cables. If it's any more than that, it's more difficult. Just because of the number of stitches, because you end up having stitches just kind of hanging loose there in the middle while you change them around, the order around. I should have brought this over here. I don't have it with me, but for cable projects, I use a cable needle ring that I got from Leslie Wind, I believe.
I have no idea.
And it's a silver ring that you can wear, but it's got needle points on both ends, so you can use it as a cable needle. What do you use for a cable needle?
A small crochet hook.
That's what I was using before. I don't like the traditional cable needles. So I was also...
I think I stole this crochet hook from you, but you haven't asked for it back, so I'm keeping it.
So I typically use a crochet hook as a cable needle. Or I did before I got this ring. But so check out the Gripperita tutorial and see if it will work for you. It's just one of those things of it works for some people and it doesn't for other people. Just like the Zoom needles, they work for some people and for other people they don't. So give it a try and let us know what you think. Do you cable without a cable needle, or what do you use to cable with?
Or do you cable at all?
That as well. I know I've seen some like funny posts like on Instagram and Facebook and such of like people have had like forgotten to take a cable needle with them and they end up using like a paper clip or a bobby pin or something because they're like, well, if you're doing heavier weight yarn, but if you're doing like sock weight, that wouldn't work. It would be too big because they like
utilize your resources.
Yes, that could be another question for y'all to answer this week. What
would you use as a cable needle?
No. What unusual tool do you use for crafting, or what do you repurpose from being used one way that you use it a different way? Like the crochet hook as a cable needle. That's something. So
I don't crochet.
I do only enough to seam blanket squares together or to do
a chain,
cast on.
A chain. I can do a chain. That's it.
Yep.
Because it's just like a knit stitch, basically.
So thanks for the question, Rhonda. Hope that answers it. Dammy, if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
That's right. All right, let's move on to the next segment. And we made it to the end of the show.
Yay!
I'm sounding more...
more and more congested.
Sniffly. My nose. It probably doesn't help that we have the sliding glass open. But
You're the one who opened it.
I know, I needed a little bit of cool air. We should close it and turn on the fan or something if we still need it. Thanks for joining us, y'all.
Fan?
The ceiling fan.
Oh, like we don't have a fan.
Yeah, we have a ceiling fan in the dining room / my office. So, announcements. I am partnering with some other lovely essential oil ladies to host an informal study on how essential oils can help you in one of 3 areas: sleep, stress and mood, and pain. If that is something you would be interested in, there's no cost to you. It's a free study. I'm going to put a link in the show notes, or you can send me an email at grande@javapurldesigns.com or PM me on Instagram, cc_Almon, or PM me on Ravelry Java Purl, and I will help you get signed up for that. Is there any other announcements?
I love my cat.
I love my cat too. I'm so excited to have baby Pink. We'd like to say a huge thank you to everybody who supports the podcast, especially those who support us financially, because it costs money to do the podcast. I just shipped out some stuff yesterday. prizes. And so thank you to those of you who support us that way. There are three main ways you can support the podcast financially. First is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount of money each month and you get rewards based on your level. It's kind of like the PBS sponsor pledge-a-thon, whatever it's called, thing. If you'd like to know more about it or want to sign up, go to
patreon.com/geekygirlsknit.
What's another way, Abby?
We have a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
And we are amazon.com, .co.uk, and .ca affiliates. If you go through our website first before you shop, we get a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you'd be doing anyway. So, Dammy, why don't you tell them where they can find us online?
You can find us at geekygirlsknit.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, where we're posting pictures of pink.
Everywhere. Hashtag Pink Purl Almon.
Etc.
And with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. We hope you have the lovely rest of your week. Hopefully we will be feeling much better in next week's episode. And happy knitting. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye. Pinky, 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 Pinky.
Oh, look at you get it. I was trying to get some mouse. Oh, scratchy, scratches. Scratches, scratches. Where's your mouse? Where's your mouse? Oh, no, you want a different toy out of your bag. Dammy has your mouse. Can you get it?
Go in, go in.
Get your mouse.
Her eyes are so big.
Hold it down just a little closer to her, maybe.
There you go. I was trying to get it. Oh, look at you dancing. Oh. Oh, get it. Get it. Okay, I'm done with this game. I'm done with this game.
Oh, who's making an apex predator?
Make her jump up.
Go on, Pinky, Pinky. But the kids outside are so much more interesting. Get it! Come on! Come on! Get it, Pinky! Get it, Pinky! Come on, Pinky! Pinky, Pinky, Pinky. Come on. Oh, this is my good girl!
Good job. Good job, baby.